Hello everyone, my name is Sanya Sani, and in this program, I'm going to explain a simple bank system in which, first of all, I have created an account class which stores account holder name and balance, and it has methods like deposit, withdraw, and print. I created an abstract class, transaction, which is a base class for all the transactions, and it has some common properties like amount and date, and there are methods like execute and rollback. These are the virtual methods, and then I have created three child classes of this base class, that is the deposit transaction, withdraw transaction, and transfer transaction class. So each class overrides the three methods, that is execute, rollback, and print. As this is the virtual function in the base class, so these have to be overridden in the child classes. You can see here in the transaction class, virtual method, virtual. This is also abstract. This is to be overridden in the child classes. You can see here the word override, override, and override. Same with the withdraw transaction and same with the transfer transaction class. And then I created another class, bank, in which a list of accounts and a list of transaction is stored, and it has methods like execute and rollback transaction. Execute transaction you can see here, and rollback transactions. And there is an enum, and next is the bank system class, in which main method is there. In that, I created a menu driven program in which options like add account, deposit, withdraw transaction, and print account, print transaction, rollback transaction, and quit are there. And it takes user input and then calls the method from the bank class to perform operations. And methods like do deposit, do withdraw, do transfer, first find the account when the user types the account name, and then execute the required transaction which the user asks. So my first question is, explain how inheritance and polymorphism are used in the solution. So in this program, inheritance is used through the transaction class. As you can see, the transaction class is the parent class, and the deposit transaction, withdraw transaction, and transfer transaction are the child classes, and they inherit their common properties of the transaction class. This is a transaction class common properties like amount, execute, and methods like execute and rollback. And this is the inheritance. And polymorphism is used when these child classes override the same method like execute and print. Transaction execute method, virtual, and rollback virtual, and these are overridden in these child classes. The deposit, again in the withdraw, and in the transfer. Next question is, how can the one method perform any kind of transaction? This. So this method in the bank class can handle all type of transaction, and this is because of the concept of polymorphism. The pointer type is transaction, but we can pass deposit transaction, withdraw transaction, and transfer transaction at runtime. So the correct execute method is called based on the object type. So this is how one method can perform different operations without changing its code. The next question is, what changes would you need to make to bank to include a new transaction type? So if we want to include a new transaction type, we need to, first of all, we need to create a new class that inherits the properties of the base class transaction, and override the methods execute, rollback, and the print, and then add logic behind which the new transaction type we have to include, and then call it from the menu. So Next question is, what are the advantages we get through inheritance? So there are many advantages which we get through inheritance. First is the code reuse, and the duplication of the code is reduced. So we can see the common code is written once in the parent class and it is overridden in the child classes, and code duplication is reduced, and it is easy for a person to maintain and improve the code and make new changes. Next is, what advantages does the polymorphism provide? So polymorphism provide advantages like flexibility, that one method can work with different objects. Cleaner code, there are no multiple methods created again and again, and it is easy to add any new type of transaction type. Thank you.